As if there wasn't enough history between these two teams, it is time to write another chapter. Bruins and Blues for the Stanley Cup. Now, we had one lineup decision to make with Ovi back from injury. It was Bellerive or Lavin, and we went with Jordy Bellerive on that fourth line spot. Everything else remains the same, including the defense that the game suggested to go for as the best lines. So we will get right into this. Let's take a look at this Bruins team. They beat Sidney Crosby and the Florida Panthers. And as you look at their team, 93 offense, 95 defense, 89 goaltending. Some interesting numbers there. Let's take a look. What are we up against here as we go for another cup? And that is an interesting team. Damn. Top line left wing is Ryan Spooner. Of course, we know that they also played 20 games, so 11 points in 20 games for Spooner. Playing with Steven Stamkos, 16 points in this postseason. The right wing is Riley Smith, back in a Bruins uniform. And on the top line with Stammer. That is rough. That is a little bit rough. Nikita Papugayev. I remember watching the Orr versus Cherry game, and they were, commentators were saying it properly. It's one of those names that hasn't stuck. But he has 9 points in this postseason, centered by Vinny Hinostroza, who's up to an 87, 15 points this postseason. And Vladislav Kamenev, not a bad player either. He has 10 points. Third line, you have Josh Bailey, Nick Bjugstad, and Matt Nieto, all 85s. That's a very strong third line. And the fourth line, Michael Furland, Jay Beagle, and Reed Boucher. So, interesting. Some really good team depth there, but obviously really headed up by Steven Stamkos. He is what makes that team work. Defensively, pretty well-rounded. It is Marc-Edouard Vlasic with Adam Larson on that top pairing. Second pair is Carl Alsner and Cody Ceci. And the third pairing, Rasmus Anderson with Damon Severson. Pretty good. Do they have any injuries? They do. Jake DeBrusk actually went back to Boston. He is currently injured. Christian Folan is a healthy scratch. The goaltending is good. It is Matt Murray with a .931 save percentage, backed up by Alex Nedeljkovic up to an 86 overall. So it's interesting to see what the Bruins have become in post-fantasy draft land, or in this post-fantasy draft world. Are we the favorites on paper? Of course we are. That doesn't mean shit. Look at the past few series. 6 games against Dallas, 7 games against Minnesota, and 7 games against the LA Kings to get here. Anything could happen. We have been the favorite all season long, but if we fall just short, will I be surprised? Absolutely not. It is time for this team to prove that they are the best in the NHL. Let's see if they can do it. First game, first period of the Stanley Cup Final. And it is Connor McDavid on Nedeljkovic. What happened to Matt Murray? We outshot them 19-8, and thankfully we had that opening goal. Otherwise, it would have been advantage Boston. But Connor McDavid with the opening goal. Is Matt Murray injured long-term, or is it one of those one-game injuries? Who knows? I'm obviously hoping for the long-term injury, but we still have a game to play. Second period, can we add to the lead? Yes. No. Technically no. Josh Bailey tied it. Jack Eichel makes it 2-1. Kamenev ties it at 2 apiece, and then Dylan Strome with 45 seconds left makes it a 3-2 lead. So we still have that 1-goal advantage heading into the third period, but Bailey and Kamenev get the goals for the Bruins, and that sets up a much more interesting third period than what I originally thought it was going to be. We are going to need insurance, I am quite sure. One more goal will hopefully be enough. Carey Price is doing well so far, but at least an empty netter, and I'll feel a hell of a lot better. We don't even need it. Carey Price, well done. Shuts the door. We outshot him 43-29, and we take game 1 on home ice. 2-point night for Jack Eichel. The goal, 1 goals for Dylan Strome. Come on. It's the little things. You really just can't. Really? 1 goals? Come on. Carey Price, your second star, with 27 saves. And the Blues have the advantage in this Cup Final. Good start. Very good start. Can we keep that up, though? And we'll have to see. Actually, we will check as Marcus Davidson is available. I'm going to look at his stats, too. Bellerive hasn't been bad, and obviously he had the empty netter at the end of the LA series. But Davidson was the guy who was going to get the call-up, and then he ended up being injured as well. But before we do anything, is Matt Murray out long-term? He is not. It was one of those one-game injuries. Jake DeBrusk is out for the postseason with an injured nose. That is unfortunate. He cannot catch a break with injuries in real life or in this game. But let's take a look at Marcus Davidson and whether or not he should replace Jordy Bellerive on that fourth line. Let's go best lines down in Providence. Davidson, good offensively, has a hell of a slap shot. But no, we are going to keep Bellerive in. He is well-rounded, solid defensively, so he will keep his spot. The Calder Cup playoffs, by the way, the Cleveland Monsters and the Rochester Americans. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. It is time for Game 2, of course, still on home ice. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'd like a nice 2-0 lead after this first period. How does that sound? Well, 1-0's not bad either. Connor McDavid, again, with the opening goal of the first period on Matt Murray. As I drop my controller. Is it broken? Let's find out. Moment of truth. Tried to scratch my ankle and drop the controller. Okay, we are looking like we're good. Thankfully, because these fucking hunks of plastic break very easily. Damn. Second period, can we maintain the lead? Yes, we can, and we can even add to it. It is Dylan Strome, 2-0 lead for the Blues, and I was scared, man. Having to go up against Matt Murray, looking like it could have been a different game. We didn't play that well against Nedeljkovic, but right now things are looking okay. 2-0 lead as we start the third period. Timo Meier makes it 3, Jack Eichel makes it 4, and the St. Louis offense is alive and well. Just poor Matt Murray. Poor Matt Murray. The Blues cruise their way to a 2-0 series lead. Nick Bjugstad ruins the shutout. That doesn't matter. We have the win. That is all that matters, and we have the 2-0 series lead. Price was still your first star of the game. Another 2-point performance for Eichel, and 1 goal for Dylan Strome. 2 games in a row. Not too bad, though. Our offense right now, 7 goals in 2 games. That is a very, very good sign. And things are looking good for us. Let's move on. Game 3 in Boston, TD Garden. No need to make any lineup changes. It is the Bruins. They are the ones that need to make these adjustments. Let's see if they can do it. First period of game number 3, and it is Steven Stamkos with the opening goal. Well, there you go. Answering Connor McDavid and his trend of the opening goal. Second period, and it is Nikita, and Cole gets us back to within 1, but it is a 2-1 lead for the Bruins as we start this third period. We are in need of a goal, and we're in need of a few more now. It is Kamenev making it 3-1. We have a power play, an extended power play, and we, of course, can't do anything with it. And with that, I believe the Bruins have a strike. The Bruins get a game back. Vlasic, the empty netter, with 1 second left. Insult to injury. The Bruins are on the board. A 4-1 victory in Game 3. A much better performance from Matt Murray. And we have a series on our hands at this point. It was looking good. Maybe too good to be true. We won't make any changes, but if we have to go back to when we go back to St. Louis for Game 5, if we have a tied series, we may just look at making some changes. We just may. First period of game number 4. And it's Ryan Spooner with the opening goal. I tried to delay. I tried to fake the game out. It didn't work. Second period, can we tie it? Yes, we can. Ryan Spooner, a second goal, made it 2-0. Then Connor McDavid says, screw you, buddy. Here are 2 goals of my own. He ties it with 8 seconds left. I don't know what to expect. Third period, 2 goals apiece. What will happen? Thomas Chabot will make something happen. We have the 3-2 lead. The first person not named Spooner or McDavid to score in this game. We are halfway through the third. Power play for the Bruins is killed. 5 minutes to go. Can we hold on? Yes, we can. Look at that. Holy shit, we are 1 win away from another Stanley Cup. Thomas Chabot with the game winner. 2 goals for McDavid, 2 goals for Spooner, 2 helpers for Alex Ovechkin. And Ovi is this close. That is the story. Alex Ovechkin is 1 game away from the Stanley Cup. Please, please let it happen. Please. We have 3 chances. 3 chances. Our first is on home ice. No need to make any changes. Let's go for it. Can we bring home the cup? Let's find out. It's in the building. I hope it stays in the building. First period of Game 5, and that is a perfect start. Jordy Bellerive and Jack Eichel with the opening goals. 12 shots to 6, and that is the perfect start. We won't get ahead of ourselves, though. A long way to go. Second period. Now we'll get ahead of ourselves. Connor McDavid and Tyson Jost. It is a 4-0 lead for the Blues. That is it. This game is over. You are not scoring 5 on Carey Price. The St. Louis Blues have done it. A crazy, crazy road to the Stanley Cup. Clean Costin makes it 5. And you know what we'll do? We'll stop it right there with 30 seconds left. I meant to stop it a little bit sooner. We will watch the Cup celebration. Why not? Now, I believe I said in the Bruins series that someone wanted to have me play 1 game with that team. I actually think it was the fantasy draft team that they were talking about, which is good because we're going to enjoy this moment. I actually meant to stop that a little bit sooner. We have won the Cup with this team. The Blues are going to look drastically different, as I've said numerous times. Can we snipe it with Dow Cole? No, we cannot. This team is going to look very, very different because of all the changes that we are going to have to make. So many UFAs. This is probably Michael Dow Cole's last game in a Blues uniform. Potentially many others included on that list. Let's fire it with Drew Doughty. A big save there. Let's see if we can get one more goal for the road. Liljegren deflection. It is loose and nothing happening there. 20 seconds to go, though. The Blues will have yet another cup. Ovechkin to McDavid for the last time, perhaps. Who knows if Ovi retires? Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is his first cup. And you know what? No, Ovi's going to stay on the ice. Ovi has to stay on the ice for this. He has to. Ovechkin, I should have named him captain before the game. It would be cool if the game programmed it so like Ovechkin gets the cup first. Ovi, you want to turn? Ovi, make the turn. Nope, that defense is all over him. Ovi will skate it back en route to his first Stanley Cup. The St. Louis Blues, he fired it over the glass. It deflected. No, it deflected. 0.4 to go. One more face-off. That is it. The St. Louis Blues on home ice have won the Stanley Cup yet again. Carey Price gets to celebrate, but this was about Alex Ovechkin, the most expensive rental in the history of rentals. Thankfully, man, there were so, as if you couldn't tell in the Wild series and the Kings series, it took 6 games to beat the Dallas Stars, who have always been a pain in our ass in this series. We came back from 3-0 down. 3-0 down to beat the Minnesota Wild. We go to 7 games against the LA Kings, and now we beat the Bruins in 5, and the Stanley Cup is coming back to St. Louis. Connor McDavid gets it first. Should have handed the C over to Ovi to make sure he got it first, but that is okay. The Blues are champions yet again. It sucks, though. It does suck that this team is going to have to be dissolved because it is going to undergo a ton of changes. Emile Poirier gets the cup third. That is funny as hell. Where's Ovi? Where is he? There he is. Alex Ovechkin with the Stanley Cup. I'll take it. I will take it. But like I said, Michael Dowcall probably on his way out. There could be more changes just because someone's, like Jack Eichel might be on his way out. I don't know. This team is going to undergo so many changes. It's going to be so difficult. We need a goalie for the future. Like, you could consider it potentially even a mini rebuild coming up. Like, this could be right there. That could be the lasting image of a miniature dynasty with 2 cup wins because we are going to have to make a lot of changes. But 37 shots apiece. 37 shots apiece, pretty even in time on attack. 5-0 on the scoreboard. A 37-save shutout in the cup-deciding game for Carey Price. That is crazy. And the Blues have secured another Stanley Cup. Not too shabby. I do wonder if Ovi retires. Sergachev actually broke his foot in that game. That is brutal. Sergachev breaks his foot in the cup-deciding game. That is rough, but I'm sure a Stanley Cup will make it a little bit better. The Cleveland Monsters have won the Calder Cup. Of course, let's take a look at the player stats for our team and the awards before we wrap up what's been a wonderful 2020-2021 season for the St. Louis Blues. You get a look at the point totals. 26 points in 24 games. You think Ovi was determined to make it happen, or what? That top line was just beastly throughout this postseason. And again, you had some other players that you would have thought would have chipped in a bit more offensively. Jordy Bellerive, 3 points in 6 games. I'd say he's making the NHL team next year. Of course, we had quite a few injuries to deal with at the start as well. Crazy to see. Carey Price, 16-5 in the postseason with a .939 save percentage and 3 postseason shutouts. That is ridiculous. Let's take a look at the awards as we wrap up this episode. Back-to-back cups for the St. Louis Blues. Back-to-back President's Trophies. But like I said, our own little mini dynasty, will it come to an end? We will find out. Evgeny Malkin wins the Art Ross and the Hart Trophy. The Norris goes to Drew Doughty. Yet again, Malkin takes home the Lady Byng. The Calder goes to Mason McDonald. Not too surprised there. Carey Price wins the Conn Smythe for the second consecutive year. He wins the Vezina Trophy. Alex Lyon wins the Jennings. He and Thatcher Demko. Not too bad. Linus Arneson wins the Masterton again. Sam Reinhart, the Selke again. The Ted Lindsay to Malkin. And surprise, surprise, Sidney Crosby wins the Rocket Richard. Quite happy we didn't have to play him. Down in the AHL, did we take home any hardware is the question. I doubt it at this point. I very, very much doubt it. We did not. So that kind of sums up how the season went for the Chicago Wolves, even though they made the playoffs. Guys, take a look at that banner. It might be the last time. It's the second time in 2 years, but it might be the last time you see that banner in this series. Call it a mini rebuild, call it a retooling, I don't know what to call it, but the next 2 episodes as we move forward into the offseason to prep for the 2022 season, a lot of changes are going to take place, barring some miracle work of the cap on my part. But I am looking forward to the challenge of that. But in the meantime, enjoying the fact that we have yet again won the Stanley Cup when it didn't look like that was going to happen at all. But guys, I hope you did enjoy this episode. Of course, if you did, I'm sure you would have already hit that like button. If you didn't, what's the matter with you? And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. The as I just called it. I will see you guys in the next episode. The Blues are Stanley Cup champions. Yeah, yeah. The Blues are champions. High quality ending. 10 out of 10.